You know, the Turkish Straits, the Bosporus, and the Dardanelles, they're one of the most critical waterways on the entire planet. For centuries, they've been the key that connects the Black Sea to the Mediterranean. And whoever holds that key, they hold immense strategic power. So this is the story of how Turkey, through an absolute masterclass in diplomacy, took that key back.
All right, let's dive into this amazing story of strategic diplomacy. We're going to start with the one big problem left over from the Treaty of Lausanne. Then we'll see how a world teetering on the edge of war created a golden opportunity. From there, we'll watch the brilliant diplomatic moves that followed, and finally, we'll get to the triumph at Montreux that locked down the nation's future. So, you have to picture this. After the heroic Turkish War of Independence, the Treaty of Lausanne in 1923 was a massive, monumental victory. It cemented the independence of the new republic. But there was a catch, a really big one, a crucial compromise that cast a long shadow over Turkey's sovereignty. And what's so fascinating here is this stark contrast. On the one hand, Turkey wins its freedom, gets foreign troops out, an incredible triumph. But on the other hand, it had to swallow this bitter pill, a demilitarized straits controlled not by Turks, but by an international committee. So their sovereignty, it had this huge, glaring hole in it. So what did this commission really mean? Well, it was like someone else holding the keys to Turkey's own front door. The security of Istanbul and Çanakkale, two of the most vital spots in the country, was literally out of Turkish hands. You can imagine the constant anxiety this created. One member of parliament even called it a national nightmare. And by the way, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell, share and like my videos. The information in this explainer has been compiled from publicly available information. Thank you. This arrangement wasn't just some political footnote in a treaty. It was a live, ticking security risk. It created a deep, profound vulnerability right at the nation's core. Just try to imagine that, the very heart of your nation, its biggest city, and its most strategic waterway, just wide open. Think about it. Any hostile fleet could, theoretically, sail right up to the doorstep of Istanbul without a single Turkish gun to stop them. The new republic was dangerously exposed. Okay, fast forward to the mid-1930s, and the whole world has changed. All that post-war optimism that led to these disarmament clauses, it had completely vanished. In its place, you could practically hear the drums of war beating louder and louder across Europe. I mean, things were escalating fast. You had an arms race picking up speed, Italy's aggression right there in the Mediterranean, Germany just tearing up the Treaty of Versailles. It showed that the whole system of collective security, the very thing that was supposed to guarantee the Lausanne Agreement, was completely falling apart. And this is where Atatürk's genius really shines. With this incredible strategic foresight, he looked at this terrifying global crisis and didn't just see a threat. He saw the perfect opportunity. He knew that the ground had shifted, that the original promises of Lausanne were broken, and that the time to act was now. So what did Turkey do? Did they call up the troops, mobilize the army? Nope. They did something much smarter. They launched this brilliant, peaceful offensive, deciding to win this battle not on the battlefield, but at the negotiating table. I mean, this was statecraft at its absolute best. Turkey didn't just rip up the treaty. No, it made a calm, logical argument. The world has changed, the security guarantees you gave us are gone, so we need to revise this. By getting key players like Great Britain on board, they methodically built a case that was impossible to ignore. So, after a month of really tough back-and-forth negotiations in Montreux, with Turkish diplomats masterfully playing the competing interests of world powers against each other, the moment of triumph finally arrived. That old vulnerability from Lausanne was about to be erased for good. And that day was July 20th, 1936. 13 long years of living with that security nightmare came to an end. With the stroke of a pen, the International Straits Commission was gone, and the key to the straits was back in the hands of its rightful owner. And this visual just perfectly captures that immediate, powerful change. This victory wasn't just on paper. That very same night, filled with incredible enthusiasm and national pride, Turkish troops marched into those demilitarized zones, finally truly securing the nation's gates. So what did this all really mean? It was a new reality, a total victory. Turkey now had complete, unconditional control. The International Commission was gone forever. They could finally put their own troops and guns on the shores of the straits, and crucially, control the passage of all warships. It was a complete reversal of those humiliating conditions from Lausanne. And you can just feel the national mood in this quote, can't you? The pure joy and relief. As you can imagine, the news set off celebrations all across the country. The nightmare was over. The nation's sovereignty was finally complete. You see, the Montreux Convention was so much more than just a piece of paper. It was a geopolitical fortress. But it was a fortress built not with stone and mortar, but with strategic genius and patient, brilliant diplomacy. This was an absolute masterstroke. And think about the timing. Securing the Straits just 3 years before the start of World War II gave Turkey the leverage and the security it needed to navigate that incredibly dangerous conflict and maintain its neutrality, saving its people from the horrors of another war. And that, right there, was the ultimate achievement. Turkey didn't just solve its own security problem. It managed to convince the entire world that a strong, sovereign Turkey in control of the Straits was actually the best guarantee for peace and stability in the whole region. They turned a national crisis into a cornerstone of international security. It's such a powerful lesson for today, isn't it? It's a reminder that incredible foresight, patience, and determined diplomacy can often achieve what brute force never could. It shows us that by truly understanding the shifting tides of world events, a nation can transform its greatest weakness into its most enduring source of strength and lasting peace.